Hey YouTubers, long time no video. I could say that now every time I make a video because it's taking me a long time to get around to doing new videos. And this one is pretty unusual. It's just sort of a response to an email that I got in YouTube from a subscriber. And I'm not going to mention his name. I think he'll know who he is when he sees this. The reason I'm doing it as a video response is, one, because I couldn't respond to you directly because you have, what is it, there's some sort of weird contact filtering thing turned on in YouTube. And YouTube is stupid enough to let you send me an email, but not to let me respond. You would think if you've sent me an email, they'd let the recipient of that email respond to you regardless of your settings, but they don't. And far be it from YouTube to be consistent on things. Anyway, so it's a video answer to your question. So here we go. The mail was like this. Hello Mike, I love your reviews and videos. Very informative, and I appreciate the effort that you put into them. Question, do you still have your 911? If so, would you have any interest in selling it? Well, funny you should ask. I would have interest in selling it, and I sold it last weekend, so you're a little late. Sorry. I had it on the market for about 6 weeks, I think, maybe a month. I had it professionally detailed, took a bunch of nice shots of it, and I made a website for it, and I'll put the link to the website in the description and maybe in the video. So you can see the pictures. It looked really nice in the pictures, and the guy that bought it commented, "Who took your photos?" And I said, "I did." So there you have it. So why did I sell my 911? Well, in short, the novelty kind of wore off, and I had it for close to 6 years, and it was a great car. Never had a problem with it. It was super reliable for me. But I just found over time that I drove it less, and part of that was because the novelty wore off. Part of that was because of minor kind of inconveniences, and these are all first world problems. I totally get that. So this is going to sound whiny, like whiny guy that has a 911. I had a parking sticker. I had to remember to move back and forth between my two cars. If I didn't do that, I'd get a ticket at my parking garage, and then I'd have to get that ticket forgiven. So it was just kind of a pain in the butt. It's really hard for me to remember that sort of thing. Secondly, we have a 2-car garage and 3 cars. That doesn't really work very well. I'm fortunate to have a mother-in-law who lets me use her garage, but I've still got to do car swaps, and basically what happens is my daily driver ends up sitting out in the sun all summer and the 911 stays inside. It's just little things like that, you know, paying the insurance on both cars and the registration and doing the emissions testing, etc. Got a little old because the novelty had worn off, not because anything was wrong with the car. So basically I've had the experience of having a 911. It was my college dream car. I've owned it. It was awesome. The other part of the reason for selling it was the values have gone through the roof. I paid, I believe, $16,000 for my car 6 years ago, and I sold it for $26,000. And I put about $9,000 into mechanical services over time, transmission, clutch cable, there's various stuff, and these were all things I wanted to do. New headlights, windshield, just various and sundry things. So really I came out, depending on how you count the money that went into the car, really kind of breaking even, so it was more or less a free car. It's funny to mention it, this value thing actually was also a detriment. When I bought it, it was, you know, it wasn't an inexpensive used car, but it was something I could drive around and not be too freaked out about. But as I learned that it increased in value, and as the novelty wore off, I found that A, I wasn't driven to drive it as much because, hey, I know what it's like to drive this car, and B, what if I wreck it? It's worth a lot of money now, and what if somebody dings it, or what if you know, it's in my mother-in-law's garage and it gets scratched and, you know, badly enough that I need to get it repainted or something. It just kind of became this weight on me, which is kind of funny. You know, most people would love for their car to appreciate, and for me it was like, I don't want an expensive old car that I'm going to have to protect and keep in a special garage. So that was the other aspect. I just decided I don't want that kind of a car that I have to worry about. So I sold it, and that's fine. So it's gone. It's a little sad, but there you have it. I've got some change in my pocket. So naturally, I like the idea of having a toy car, a summer car, a convertible, etc. So I am toying with the idea of getting something to replace the 911, and something I may not worry about as much, and you know, something that's not a classic, that sort of thing. So the number one thing I'm considering is a Boxster. And before you laugh, you got to drive a Boxster because they're awesome. So I've driven a couple of them. The great thing is Boxsters right now are around $10,000 to $15,000 depending on miles and condition and that sort of thing, and whether it's an S or not. So it's down in that range where I wouldn't care about it too terribly, and they're just awful fun to drive, and it would be the modern Porsche experience, and it's affordable. I was considering also a 928, but I actually drove one the other day, first time I'd ever been in one, and the thing, it was like driving a tractor. So not so sure about the 928 experience. If you're out there and you drive a 928 and you love it, maybe you can tell me that the car I drove was bad, but I just didn't like the way it felt at all, unfortunately. So the other possibilities are BMW Z4 or a Z3 or nothing. I may just not get another car because there is that aspect of managing the second car. So it was kind of long-winded, but that's the answer to your question, subscriber, who shall not be named. And sorry you missed out on it. So I hope to do more videos upcoming. I've got some ideas. I think I mentioned in the review of, I'm pointing this way because the lens is over there, the 400mm lens that I did. I also bought a macro lens, and I may have mentioned that. I need to put together a review of it. It's an old Minolta macro lens. So that's there. Some audio stuff, some headphone stuff. I might try to get my neighbor to do a video with me. He's got some pretty darn cool audio gear. He built it all himself. So I might see if he would do a video with me so we can kind of compare systems. Anyway, it's that kind of stuff in the pipeline, as they say. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.